Welcome back to the Olympus Report, demigods, monsters, and gods alike. From spa worker to praetor to hunter, this girl sure doesn't mess around. Here's a character breakdown. Reyna Avia Ramirez Ariano is a Roman demigod, the daughter of Bellona, goddess of battle and younger sister to the current queen of the Amazons, Hylla. She is a former praetor of Camp Jupiter and is currently a hunter of Artemis. Reyna is 16 with piercing black eyes, glossy black hair worn in a single braid, and has brown skin. She is often described as having a regal and gorgeously beautiful appearance of Puerto Rican descent and described as having the gaze as if she could take on any challenge. Reyna is a very strong-willed person and is very strict of the 12th Legion and does not like to be questioned. Even though Reyna and her elder sister were the first children of Bellona in their family, millennia ago, Bellona declared that her family would play pivotal roles in many battles. Some of Reyna's ancestors were heroes and some were villains. Her ancestors originated from Spain when it was in Roman control, and one of her ancestors was a conquistador who came to Puerto Rico. Eventually, Bellona fell in love with Reyna's father, Julian Ramirez Ariano, a soldier in Iraq. He was a good soldier, charming and very gentle before Reyna was born. Bellona blessed Julian, but it wasn't enough for him. He wanted her to be his wife. Julian dedicated himself completely to Bellona and managed to win her heart. Reyna's sister Hylla was born before he went back to Iraq for his last tour of duty. He was honorably discharged and came home a hero. Soon after he came home, Bellona visited him one last time and gave him a glimpse of the future. She explained why his family was so important to her and that Rome would never fall as long as his bloodline remained. She meant this to be reassuring, but Julian fixated on those words and it began his downward spiral. Reyna was conceived during this visit. Reyna loved her home in Puerto Rico, even though she started to fear it as she got older. Her father changed during Reyna's childhood and suffered from PTSD. He couldn't stop thinking about the war, and he had constant chronic pain from a roadside bomb that left shrapnel in his shoulder. He became paranoid and thought Bellona's words meant that their bloodline would die and that Rome would fall. He sought enemies everywhere and began collecting weapons, turning their house into a fortress. He was unable to adjust to civilian life. Reyna and Hylla would sometimes be able to escape their father. One day after they snuck out when Reyna was 10, Julian was so angry he was glowing. He couldn't touch things anymore and learned how to move things like a poltergeist. Julian had become a mana, only his worst qualities remaining. He tore up the floor tiles and ripped open the sofa. He threw a chair at Hylla, knocking her out. Reyna lost it as she thought she was dead. Reyna grabbed a saber and used it to vaporize her father. After Reyna killed him, Ghost appeared at Reyna and taunted her, telling her that she could never flee her crime, calling her a murderer and a traitor. When Hylla woke up, Reyna and Hylla finally escaped for good. Reyna and Hylla eventually ended up on Circe's island. Circe treated them well. While Hylla was a clerk, Reyna did people's hair and makeup. Both helped turn men into guinea pigs. It was here that Reyna learned about the Mark of Athena, when a man washed up on the island talking about the Mark of Athena. The man muttered about how he ended up in Rome and saw the giant's bane before they turned him into a guinea pig. Reyna was one of the female attendants on Circe's island when Annabeth Chase and Percy Jackson first arrived. After Annabeth and Percy accidentally freed Blackbeard and his crew of pirates using Hermes multivitamins, they captured Reyna and Hylla and took the sisters with them as they left the island. During their months with Blackbeard, Reyna and Hylla endured a lot from the pirates, but learned to be tough. Otherwise, they would have been killed. Hylla eventually saved Reyna's life by making the pirates respect and fear her. After a while, Hylla dueled for their freedom and made the crew so afraid of her that they dropped her and Reyna off in California, just so Hylla wouldn't take over the ship. Reyna and Hylla eventually parted ways, with Hylla joining the Amazons and Reyna going to the Wolf House. Lupa taught her how to sleep lightly, wake up alert, and be ready for attack. Reyna made it to Camp Jupiter and joined the 12th Legion, being part of it for 4 years. It is unknown what cohort she was in, but she eventually became Praetor. During her time at camp, Reyna became close friends with Jason Grace, a son of Jupiter from the 5th cohort. Things were progressing towards a romantic relationship, or so Reyna thought, when Reyna encountered the goddess Venus, who told her no demigod would heal her heart. Shortly after Jason went missing and Percy Jackson came to Camp Jupiter, Reyna was taken with him, but despite having no memories, Percy remained loyal to Annabeth. Percy would help Reyna defend Camp Jupiter from the Giants' attack, and welcomed the Argo II to camp. However, when a possessed Leo fired upon Camp Jupiter, Reyna was forced to pursue the 7 demigods of the prophecy and help Octavian attack Camp Half-Blood. But eventually, Reyna realizes that this is wrong and helps the 7 demigods of the prophecy get the Athena Parthenon back to Camp Half-Blood and heal the rift between Greeks and Romans. Reyna goes back to Camp Jupiter, now with Frank as the new praetor, and helps Apollo in regaining his godhood, and helps defeat 2 of the Triumvirative. Apollo offers to be Reyna's boyfriend, and Reyna promptly laughs in his face. Reyna then decides that Venus was right. She doesn't need someone to heal her heart, and leaves Camp Jupiter to join Thalia and the Hunters of Artemis. Like most Greek and Roman demigods, Reyna has naturally born endurance and abilities. ADHD. Like most demigods, Reyna possesses inborn supernatural battle reflexes. Dyslexia, which makes her brain hardwired for Latin instead of modern languages. Fighting skills. As a daughter of Bellona, Reyna is naturally skilled in swordsmanship and hand-to-hand combat. Superhuman strength. Being a demigod, Reyna is stronger than the average mortal. Superhuman agility. Being a demigod, Reyna is more agile than the average mortal. Superhuman durability. Being a demigod, Reyna is more durable than the average mortal. Superhuman stamina. Being a demigod, Reyna has higher stamina than the average mortal. Superhuman reflexes. As a daughter of the war goddess, Reyna's reflexes are faster than the average mortal and demigod. Intelligence. Reyna is shown to have a higher than average intelligence. Leadership. Reyna has shown leadership skills as a former praetor of New Rome. Willpower. Reyna has an immense willpower, as shown when she was able to go 3 days with no rest against many monster attacks. As a daughter of Bellona, Reyna also has specific abilities related to battle and war. Telekinesis. As a daughter of Bellona, Reyna is a natural weapons expert. Autokinesis. As a daughter of Bellona, Reyna has control and influence over the emotions of war, such as anger, hatred, fear, and panic. Necromancy. Limited. Reyna can summon the losing undead soldiers from any war. Empowerment. Reyna can share her strength and courage with others. And although we haven't seen them yet, we can assume that Reyna gained Huntress abilities as well when she joined the hunt. Enhanced physiology. Reyna is naturally stronger and faster than a regular demigod. Zoolingualism. Reyna can communicate with animals loyal to Artemis, such as wolves, hawks, and does. Huntress immortality. Reyna is immortal unless she falls in battle, chooses to leave, or falls in love. And along with these abilities, Reyna has some pretty kick-ass weapons and pets as well. Spear sword. Reyna has an imperial gold spear. Dagger. Reyna also has an imperial gold dagger. Silver pocket knife. Reyna keeps a silver pocket knife with her at all times in case of being attacked by the lycanthropes. Roman legionnaire armor. Reyna wears standard legionnaire armor. Aegis cloak. When Reyna proves her immense bravery against the giant Orion, Athena enchants her regular cloak with invulnerability, making it glitter with power. Aurum and Argentum. Reyna's gold and silver autotom guard dogs. Scipio. Reyna's Pegasus that she rides into battle at Camp Jupiter. Unfortunately, in the House of Hades, Reyna had to kill the Pegasus to put him out of his misery. Guido. After being named horse friend by Lord Pegasus, his son Guido adopts Reyna. A hero moment, I believe, is when someone overcomes past weaknesses and embodies what it means to be a hero. And I don't think there's any one singular moment for Reyna. Reyna was raised to follow the rules and be a good soldier of war. Betraying the Legion was something that never crossed her mind, but ultimately that's what she did. She broke one of the biggest rules, traveling to the ancient lands. And once there, she decides to go against Octavian and the Legion and help the 7 demigods of the prophecy. Yes, this was the right choice, but it was still really difficult for Reyna to betray the Legion. But Reyna realized there's more to being a hero than following orders. Thanks to Reyna, Camp Half-Blood was saved, and Greeks and Romans were finally able to heal the rift between them. Is there anything important I left out about Reyna? Let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, I'm signing off. And please, as always, stay safe.